welcome to Sunday Rundown episode 3. Very mixed bag this week. Had some very positive runs, a few tired ones, but all in all, it was a pretty good week. I think it's just left me a little bit fatigued because my mileage is being pushed up every week. Started off Monday as always with an easy run because that tends to be my follow-up day from my long run on Sunday. That went well enough, usual easy run. As before, I'm going to keep a running total up and I'll show you snippets of the runs as and when I do them, so they'll be popping up on screen just to give you the specifics that I can never recall when I'm talking about them. Tuesday we did 2x24s, so say so much fatigue that I can't even remember what I've done over the week. Yeah, 2:24 intervals, so 24 minutes. Pace was similar sort of pace the week before, but I added a couple of minutes on to each interval just to try and maintain it out a little bit longer, and again still using the route with a bit more climbing and a bit more exposure to wind rather than the shorter, flatter course that I've been running. It feels like it's coming on, but then also it feels really disconcerting because I'm not running at the speeds that I want to be running at, so I'm struggling to get down to low 7s, let alone breaking into 6s, whereas realistically I need to be getting sub 7 to be getting anywhere near the target that I want for the next half marathon. But we keep going, we'll keep maintaining, I'll keep trying, I'll keep pushing and see how it is. Wednesday, another easy run. Always like those because it's just another good way of loosening the legs off, getting the mileage up, keeping it very aerobic still, rather than actually pushing myself to any limits. And I'm getting better and better at running easy runs, I find. Before I used to really struggle with getting my paces down, whereas now I can actually sit sort of comfortably from sort of 8:30 to 9:30, depending on if I'm running solo or whether I've got the stroller. So the slower runs, obviously that'll pop up. I had one stroller run this week. I do really enjoy those. It's fun taking him out, but say he's 2 now, so he's getting quite heavy in the pushchair. So it's actually making those runs even slower because it feels like I'm doing a sled push most of the way around it. And even going downhill, like trying to hold the stroller back can be quite a challenge within itself as well. But it's really good, and he absolutely loves going out with me. He really enjoys it. He just doesn't stop waffling all the way around, which is absolutely great. Thursday, more VO2 max work. Went in for 7 3-minute intervals, getting that nicely into the 6 minutes. Again, good smatterings of paces. I'm not quite consistent with it, but I'm trying to learn to run on feel rather than constantly watching my watch. Which I think is making a big difference to how I'm running, because I'm much more consistent running feel-wise now than I used to be. It used to be all over the shop, but I'm getting quite good at sort of knowing my pace and knowing my gears just intuitively. Friday, another easy run. Clocking the mileage in, nothing really spectacular to report home on that one, but I quite enjoyed it. Rest day Saturday as usual, just a little bit cycling that I do to and from work, and the usual sort of like walking around. And then Sunday, long run. It really tested me this time, 16 miles, which is the longest run I've had for quite a while. Really building that durability up, really getting to the point where I can actually overclock. And I ran a steady pace, sort of like, I think it was about 8:10 to 8:30 for 13 miles, and then pushed sub 8 minutes for the last 3. So I think it was something like 7:50 something, 7:40 something, and then getting closer to 7.5 for the last 3 miles. And there was a lot of climbing towards the end of my runs, because for some reason I can never seem to finish a run without some sort of climb within the last few miles. But again, I think it's just what my runs work out at. So a lot of my run graphs tend to be the same. you get those big drops at the beginning with a big climb at the very end of it. But then I think it's because I like to loop and start and finish near home rather than going out somewhere first and then starting my run, which I really should do, to be fair. I should mix up my courses. I don't know whether it's just me or whether it's quite a common runner thing that no matter how many times I think about making a new route, I still end up just doing the same ones that I do with slightly different corners to allow different mileages. So I do the same core of the run with a couple of deviations off in different directions. But I think since I've been doing this block of training, because I'm going much more distance-y orientated, I think I'm using longer runs now a lot more, whereas I used to have a few shorter and longer runs. But kind of the shortest run I do now is probably about 6.5 to 7 miles on my shorter runs. So what I was using courses before, sort of that 4 to 6 bracket, just don't exist anymore. And for some reason, I really don't like lapping places either. So I don't like doing runs where I do 2 circuits of something. Because I find I really struggle mentally with actually coping with that run. Because it was one of the biggest things that hit me last year. It was October, I did the rugby half marathon. And I've never ran rugby before, but it sounded really nice because there's a section where you run along an old railway or a disused railway. You run along there, which is really quite nice. But I think the reality of actually doing it's 2 laps, quite big laps. And then you break off onto the railway bit as you head back towards the finish. And I found when I was doing the first lap, all I was thinking was, this hill's going to be horrible on the next one. I'm really struggling on this bit. This is nasty. This road's awful. There's loads of potholes here I need to avoid on the next run round. And I was so focused on the next loop, I didn't pace well. And I ended up really struggling on the back half rather than actually getting a negative split. So I think I kind of got stuck in my own head a little bit, which isn't brilliant when you're going out with a race plan. I still managed to beat my PB by a few minutes though, so I'm not going to grumble too much. But I just feel I could have performed a lot better on that run. And when I actually did the bit along the railway part, it was quite a walking path, so there was a lot of loose stones and gravelly bits, which I think when you're trying to go sort of full tilt, when you're trying to go at the upper end of your threshold, slippy, uneven ground like that really didn't help, and I think I ended up actually picking up a bit of a hip strain, which took kind of manifested more in my soleus muscle, and it took probably about 6 weeks for me to shake it off properly. So it really derailed my training a bit, because I was really struggling when I was running at those fast speeds. I was getting a lot of quite sharp pain that would subside very quickly, but it kept coming back. And in the end, I had to have a sports massage to get shot of it. But yeah, they always work. And I think massaging is just an important part of running. I think you get that needed. So yeah, that pretty much sums the week, I think. So very fatigued. I think I got stuck in my own head quite a few times, quite mentally drained with a couple of the runs. Like I think Friday, I struggled to get out Friday, but felt so much better when I did. So it was well worth it in the end. And yeah, I think 61 miles for my week. I think that's some of the highest weekly mileage I've done before. Clocked up my calories a little bit as well, clocked up my intake to try and fight the fatigue, because I've been finding that I've just been feeling flat with no real weight change. So I think I'm not quite fueling right, so I'm increasing the amount of carbs that I'm taking on. And as long as weight doesn't increase drastically or move drastically over the next couple of weeks, I think I'll just maintain that. Because I'm eating to fuel, not to diet. So yeah, that really, pretty cut and dry week, I think, what it is. Also very, very aware that all my Sunday rundowns have been going out on Mondays, but that's just what it they're still being called Sunday rundowns because I think I like that. It rolls quite nicely and it's a nice way for me to summarise the week for myself more than anything else. And yeah, probably going to continue this way, and it'll probably stay on Mondays. Also very aware that I didn't actually release a video last week that I was supposed to. I got it all done and everything, uploaded it to YouTube, ready to finish off, and promptly forgot about it until I was about to come and start recording this video. So hopefully I'll put that up this week at some point. But yeah, this is going to be very indicative of what this channel is going to be like. So if you enjoy randomness and a loose schedule, then you're probably in the right place. As always, thank you for watching. Always welcome any comments, any inquiries or anything like that about what I do and how I do it. I'm more than happy to share. But like I said, I'm no expert on this. I'm just trying my best. Mid-40s, dad of 5, trying to get to a goal and seeing what's happened. So thanks for watching.